O Come, Emmanuel is perhaps the best known of our Advent hymns. Although not quite as old as it may seem, its origins are in the Christmas celebrations of 1300 years ago, or even earlier. The words and music of the hymn developed quite separately. The text, in Latin, was not finalised until the 18th century. It's based on a 12th century paraphrase of possibly 8th century texts of 5 of the 7 antiphons, or short chants, that were originally sung after the Magnificat, the Song of Mary, "My soul magnifies the Lord," at Vespers or evening prayer during the last few days before Christmas. The first English translation was made by J.M. Neale, an Anglican priest. There is a local connection here, because Neale is buried in St Swithin's churchyard, East Grinstead in Sussex, not far from here, where he was warden of Sackville College, the almshouses, from 1846 until his death in 1866. The version we shall hear shortly is based on a translation of 1906 by T.A. Lacey. The tune we are familiar with, although others are available and are sometimes used, was published in the 1850s by Thomas Helmore, paired with an early translation of the text by J.M. Neale, and probably has its origins in liturgical music of 15th century France, although there is some speculation that Helmore wrote it himself. The 7 antiphons that I mentioned just now, known as the O antiphons, because they all start with O, describe attributes of the Messiah found in prophecies by Isaiah. First, O Sapientia, wisdom. Then O Adonai, Hebrew word for God, which is used in verse 5. O Radix Jesse, the root or branch of Jesse, in verse 2. The Key of David, verse 4. O Oriens Dayspring, in verse 3. O Rex Genitium, and finally O Emmanuel, God with us, which of course is used in verse 1. For those of you who enjoy word puzzles, if read backwards, the first letter of the second word of each antiphon form a 2-word acrostic, erocras, meaning I will be present tomorrow. This might have been clever wordplay by the 8th century monks, or just an interesting coincidence spotted much later. In any event, the words of the hymn draw on a rich tapestry of scriptural titles for the long-awaited Messiah as we prepare for Christmas and look forward to Jesus' second coming.